So we just took an exhaustive look at your academic qualifications. Now, let's take a look at your non-academic qualifications. The easiest way to begin thinking about your non-academic qualifications is to ask yourself a couple of questions. What do I do when the school day finishes? What do I do in my free time? What do I do for fun? What have I dedicated my time to? Now remember, non-academic qualifications can be almost anything. One thing they should do is demonstrate a certain level of commitment to that activity. Meaning, if you volunteered once for 2 hours on one day, that doesn't count as community service. It's really just something that you did for 2 hours. Now, if you regularly volunteer, if it wasn't just once, even if it's not at the same place, that can be an activity because you've shown a commitment to it. It's something that you do regularly and something that you have dedicated yourself to. One of the easiest ways to get some ideas about activities is to use the activities section of the Common Application as a guide. When you look at the list on the Common Application, you'll see activities that range from art to athletics to community service to family responsibilities to music and theater to work, employment, and many, many more. Some non-academic activities might even be related to your academics. A science fair, an academic Olympiad team, extensive reading on a subject, or pursuing additional education outside of your school classes. The question is, can you separate your out-of-class academic activities from your in-class academic activities? Outside of the classroom, are you demonstrating a love of learning or intellectual curiosity? And how are you demonstrating a love of learning or an intellectual curiosity? Students will say to me all the time, "My country is not like the US. We don't have activities or clubs." Then they'll say, "I didn't do anything." And that statement is usually not true. Almost everyone has done something, and most students do many things. The key is breaking yourself out of thinking that your activities have to have a name, or they have to be formal, organized, official. They don't. Unlike grades, activities and interests are not nicely listed on a piece of paper issued by your high school. Activities are something that you need to think about and write down. Remember to think broadly and include everything that you do. After you have written this list, take one more step. For each item on your list, go back and identify the role that you had in that activity. For instance, if you played sports, were you the captain of your team, or did you play a different role? If you worked on the school newspaper, were you a reporter, or were you an editor? If you took care of younger siblings as part of your family responsibilities, what responsibilities did you have? Now, look at your list like an admission officer would. What do you have on your list? What have you shown the greatest commitment to? Do your activities show depth? So, a lot of activities related to one area? Or do your activities show breadth? Activities in many different areas? Do they show both? Do they show neither? What do your non-academic qualifications say about you? What strengths are demonstrated through your non-academic qualifications? Can you identify any weaknesses? If you strip away your grades and your test scores, who are you?